Reality. Reality receipts.
Hi guys, welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. I feel delirious right now at the end of the Love Island season. I feel like that, you know, that meme with the little fox sitting on the bed and it's like so haggard looking. Yeah, that's
We're
us.
almost there. We are almost there. We've got to push through.
Yes. I love it's so fun having an episode every day and like we said, like just a few days can completely change the show, the cast, like it's so exciting, but it is a lot to keep up with. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are like looking forward to it being over, but also I know we're gonna miss it when it's ggone. So
Yeah.
soaking it up. So
Lifting it up.
we're talking about 31 and 32 episode today. So start with 31.
31
It was a
kind
fun
of
episode.
filler. Like, yes, it was a fun
I
filler
liked
episode.
it.
I did find myself smiling a lot, except on certain
Mhm.
parts, which we'll get
Yeah.
there. But I thought it was and that was cute. Like
It's
I thought it
cute.
was cute.
Yeah.
It was nice to see the Islanders having some fun, seeing how they interact with one of another.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought who did you think made the best parents?
I thought that almost all of them did a pretty good job. They were cute just seeing them all with babies. It's like I know they were dolls, but you know, it really does give you like a sense of how they would be as parents. And
Yeah.
I'm shocked to say this, but I really liked Ace and Shelley in this episode.
I'm surprised they didn't win. Not win,
Yeah.
but they didn't pass the challenge. They failed. Like,
Yeah.
and I
So
don't know why they failed. And Iris and Pepe won, and they had their babies by the stove getting burnt by the baby grates.
Like, right on the counter. That is not food safe at all. So, how are they measuring who won though? Was it like the cries, I guess? Like the one that cried the least, maybe? So maybe they were just good at getting it to calm down because
Maybe.
Ace and Shelley had two babies, right?
Yeah, they had twins.
But everyone didn't have two babies?
Iris and Pepe had two, and Shelly and Ace had two, and everybody else had one.
That's odd. Like
Yeah.
that just seems like an unfair advantage.
It
So-
definitely is unfair. Like Iris
Mhm.
and Pepe had their babies on the counter. Like there's no way that they passed. And then
No.
Amaya and Brian didn't pass either. Maybe because it was she left her kid unattended for that split second, but I don't know.
It's so funny when they're like, "You left it out in the sun." It's like he is Latino; he likes the sun or something. That's what
Yeah.
Brian said. That was cute. I
Yeah,
like that.
that's funny.
Yeah, I feel like I feel like him and Amaya are so cute together. I want to believe it, even if I know people say like he didn't immediately go for her, but I think they're so similar. I like their vibe together. So, and I thought they did good at parenting, except that one part where they left it out. But
Yeah, I think they're cute. I don't know what people are seeing or say. Like, I don't know. Everybody sees something different or has a different interpretation. But some people
Mhm.
think, like, I see him like going in for kisses and cuddles. So, and I think that's like what she wanted. They're talking about life on the outside and how they live close together. So I like it. I think they're cute.
Yeah.
But some people still don't buy it. So
Yeah, I know. It's so hard because obviously the people coming in now and after that challenge, they know Amaya is loved and they know
Yeah.
probably
yes,
whoever's with her might end up winning. And yeah, I wish we would have. I mean, we did see him defend her before he knew
Yeah.
America loved her, right?
Yeah.
So there was that. Like there was a little bit of signs there.
yeah,
But yeah, it would have been nice to see this happen just a little bit before the America challenge so that we
Yeah.
could fully trust it. But I do think that would be a lot of faking. You know, they went to the hideaway, but we'll get there. So
yes, they
it
did.
seems genuine.
Yes.
But should we
Yeah,
go back to the episode started with a lot of cute little combos with all the couples, which yeah, I'm liking the vibes of most of them. Like I think Iris and Pepe are a good match, which you know, we saw Pepe with Hannah, which was great, and then with Grayson, which no vibes there. So
Mhm.
I think they are genuine as well. They seem to like each other.
And they had a friendship first, and I think that
Yeah.
that's important. Like they really, really were like homies. And then And then now they're together. I don't know if you've seen TJ's post, but like he posted like kind of like he said he was shocked of everyone that didn't stand behind him. He was shocked that Pepe didn't because they were really
Yes.
close. So he's actually pretty shocked like that Pepe is with Iris.
Moving in.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like, ooh. Ooh.
I mean,
Damn.
he did say on After Sun too, which obviously was a few days ago before he's seen all of this happen, but he did say like he really thought Iris was coming out of the villa to hang like to be with him, like he was hoping that. And he said they had a conversation before she left, and that I mean before he left, and that he thought that would happen. So
Well, he
I think
thought
that
she was
bubble has
gonna
been
leave the
burst.
island for him.
Well, he didn't say that
Oh,
specifically, but I did see her friend say that that happened. I don't know how her friend knew that, but her friend went on TikTok and said she tried to leave. So apparently
you know
that's a
what?
story.
Somebody was commenting in my comments that Hannah allegedly, I haven't seen it anywhere, that Hannah was also publicly saying that they told them that they couldn't leave this time. Like if they wanted to leave with their
Oh,
partners, that they couldn't. So a lot of people comment. I was like, no, they can leave. Like they're allowed to leave. We've seen people leave, but apparently Hannah said that they can't leave. I don't know how true that
that
is. I haven't seen that anywhere, but maybe they couldn't leave this season.
I think that would make the most sense because we have seen a few couples where, we thought it looked like they wanted to leave. They definitely, at least in the moment, were that emotional over it. And I'm sure that's what they realize is that you might make that choice in the moment when you're so upset, but you would definitely not make that choice a few days later. So they probably are just trying to help them not make a rash decision.
Right.
Also, if everyone left, like we're
Right,
not
and
gonna
I
have a
think that
show. So
season's already going downhill. They're like, "No, no, no, we can't take like we've got to work with what we have." So
yeah. But
they
like also I know people have said they can't not let you leave. That's like literally kidnapping. So like if you were very adamant, I want to leave, they have to let you leave. I'm sure
yeah,
it's not that they're not allowed, but probably they heavily get talked
they
out of it,
heavily, yeah, get
Yeah.
persuaded to stay. I could see
Yes.
that. But I did that's the one thing I did like about episode 31 is I think we just started, which again, so late in the season to start having these real conversations or like starting to really see these connections because I think even seeing Shelly and Ace talking about, I do think like you guys are we're in day 31 and you guys are just now asking about how you grew up and like
Yeah.
things that happen when you isn't that like a second or third date question to be like, well, how did you grow up? How was your, either way, I really liked it. Ace and Shelly really did grow on me this episode too. I found myself
Yeah.
smiling. The s'mores date was super cute. Like I thought it was
Yeah.
really thoughtful and like it seemed to really captivate him and win him over. I'm still confused if they're closed off or not. Like, are they closed off? Because she said I don't want to explore anymore, and then there hasn't been a conversation since. Like,
No, they definitely haven't like officially said it, and they haven't had like what we saw tonight, obviously
yeah,
later on with
yeah,
Taylor and Clark. So I don't know what they're waiting for. Obviously, there's just a couple of days left. So that's obviously been what everyone has been annoyed with them about this whole time is the dancing around it and not just like committing to each other. We feel like we can all see that they have something, but for some reason they keep trying to like manufacture this drama between them and this exploring when I
or
don't feel like they've ever liked anyone else really.
yeah, I agree with you, and I also think it's like this. It just doesn't seem genuine. Like, obviously, not genuine as far as their connection, but genuine. It's almost like they're trying. And I don't want to say they Ace because Shelly has thrown it out there that she wants to explore, but it's like, are you trying to come up with a strategic plan of when you think the audience thinks you should close off? Because at this point, it's like there's only a couple
Mhm.
of days left. Like, close this shit off. Like,
Yeah.
basically
Also,
everyone's closed off. Nobody's gonna switch couples at this point. Like,
no. Yeah, it almost feels like for the last couple weeks they've been trying to manufacture some kind of like Serena Cordell moment where it's like they were apart, they liked someone else, but then they surprise everybody and get back together. Then we all love them and we're like, yeah, stay together. Like that because it just
wait,
didn't make any sense for
wait.
her to want to explore Chris and all of these other things. And she seemed upset that Chris didn't pursue her. And it's like she wanted it to be like she's being pursued by two men and she chooses Ace. Like she really wanted that moment, it feels like.
Yeah.
And he has also been reluctant to say he wants to exclusively be with her, and we're like, what? Why are they playing
No,
these games? I don't
I
get it.
feel like we're gonna get something more than a close off, right? Like I feel like we're
Yeah.
gonna get a "Will you be my girlfriend?"
Proposal.
or an "I love you."
Yeah.
That's what I think that we're because he's said he's never had a girlfriend or said "I love you," so I think that that's gonna be his big moment, like his big epiphany. And I think
Yeah.
we're seeing glimpses of that tonight when the boys went to play basketball, but we'll get there.
Maybe that's what it is, that he's waiting for everyone else to do their big close off moment, and so he can be like the last
One up,
one, the
he's gonna
biggest
one up
one.
them and be like, "This
Yeah.
is my girlfriend," or "We're in love." Like I think that's what's gonna happen. We'll see.
But sadly for him, everyone else has been a hot mess. So he's like probably been waiting for the last week, like everyone to close it off, and it's just been such a disaster that he's
Yeah.
like now down to the last few days, and they're literally not closed off. It's crazy, but
Yeah.
uh,
We don't have one
yeah,
closed off couple because the one that did close off went home. So
I
we'll get there.
know. Yes. Well, so I know I just want to talk about that now. So. No, we can't skip ahead. Back to the babies.
Mhm,
The dads did a little dad Olympics, which was really funny. I
mhm.
thought, yeah, the men are all, not that they were not likable before. I just think there's been so much drama that we haven't got to just see the light, fun sides of them.
Yeah.
So this was good. I thought they were all likable and
Very light, fun
endearing.
episode. Yeah.
Yeah. Except for someone wasn't very happy with
Yes.
their
Hurricane Huda returned. She
yeah.
returned. Even though she didn't go anywhere, in my opinion, she never went anywhere. It was always, and I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care, I don't care. I'm gonna speak my piece.
Be real.
Yeah, like in my opinion, she never went anywhere. They're just, and I think we've said this in previous episodes.
Yeah.
There's just nobody in the house that she likes. So
Uh-huh.
she's on her best behavior, not because a change has happened, but because there's nobody in the villa that she likes. And now that there is, we are seeing some of these same patterns. Like, and I
Yeah.
think a really, I think a notable pattern in this episode was that she started acting this way after she slept with Chris, after we
Yeah.
found out that she's been intimate with Chris. So there's something with physical intimacy and like this behavior that is connected.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, she was just like honestly annoying me the whole episode with just even just like I'm a mom, mamacita, I'm a mommy, like you know what I mean? We
Yeah.
gave her a mom, like she just expected to like she was just taking the challenge way too serious where it was supposed to be light and fun and you're like
Mm-hmm.
kind of nitpicking at him for every single thing, like yelling at him about the baby being in the sun and the baby being hot and the baby not supposed to sit up this way and you need to hold the baby this way and put this color on the baby. Be gentle with her. She's screaming and you're yanking her hat off her head and it's like this is not an actual child.
No, and just imagine how she would be with an actual child because, like, why, this is the few first days of this relationship. There should be no problems. There should be no negativity. Like, if you're not in that happy love bubble right off the bat, off that first few days, like, imagine 10 years from now. Like, I just don't know how she's ever. No, she's never going to get there with someone because, like someone said, by the end of the next episode, which we'll get to, he literally looks like a man in a 15-year marriage on the verge of a divorce. Like, he looks beaten down, exhausted, can't even explain himself anymore.
Yeah.
And I hate that she's putting us in this position because I want to see her side. And if he was doing anything wrong, we would be the first ones to defend her. But I don't know what her problem is with him. She's just so negative. Like, I think even Iris tried to help her at one point in this episode when they were talking about the mommy and me yoga and she was like complaining, like he did this and he did this wrong. And she's like, oh, I liked when he like led the yoga, like he did a good job or something. It's like, that's your partner. That should be your cheerleader, your biggest supporter. It's obviously like you're doing this challenge or well, it wasn't a challenge, but he's leading everyone in an exercise. You might be a little nervous or like awkward. And instead of like being there by his side, she's like literally making it about herself, complaining. And I just couldn't believe it.
We've heard it too many times that she's selfish, right? And that she's very self-centered. She's very self-absorbed. And the thing that I like about Chris is whenever she does come to him with a concern, he listens wholeheartedly and he reflects and he takes in what she's saying and he makes an effort to correct the action or apologize for it or acknowledge what he did. I did skip you. I'm sorry. And to me, when he skipped her, it was in a sense of like, I'm asking all of the couples and like you're
Yeah, like
kind of leading this with me. So like
you're up here.
you're the host with me type thing.
Mhm.
You know?
Totally. It was not malicious or something that needs to be like pointed out in
Yes.
any
Yeah.
way. Like it's like she's looking for problems constantly. And it's so sad because she was literally handed a redemption on a silver platter and she could be happy with Chris right now, win the whole damn thing. Everyone would be like, wow, maybe we didn't see shit with Jeremiah. Something was going weird, like wrong there. And she's amazing. And she cannot help herself. It's just insane because there isn't,
And
he
it's
couldn't
her,
be
right?
more.
It's
Yeah.
her. It's her. It's her. And the thing is I've seen people say, I don't think she's intentionally doing it. I don't think that she's being like she has like ill intentions. I think she is
Hmm.
not aware of her behavior. I don't think, and it's not like I think she's intentionally being this way because she just wants to be an asshole. I don't think she can see herself, you know,
Hmm.
and she is self-sabotaging.
Hmm.
And to me, I just like even the yoga mat, like, oh, like you put my mat away? And then you have to go complain to him about that. Like, oh, I had to ask you to put my mat away. I have the baby.
Hmm.
It's a challenge. You could freaking
Yeah.
hold, it's a fake baby. It's a doll.
Yeah.
Hold that baby on your hip and pick up your yoga mat. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just like she didn't say anything positive to him in that
No.
whole interaction.
Yeah, it's so draining. And it's sad because well, I think this is in the next episode, so maybe we'll get there. But I feel like we did see her have a good, healthy conversation where she did communicate her feelings properly when she explained the situation to Amaya. It was like a different person. And I'm like, she can be normal, but like you said, as soon as she sleeps with someone, I don't know what is going on there. It's
Yeah.
almost like she sleeps with them and then she's like, I've got them. They're hooked on me. Now I can act like a complete bitch and see how far I can go, see how much I can push them away.
It's either that or it's honestly like an anxious attachment. Like I've
Yeah.
given you my body and now you owe me something in return and I'm
Hmm.
so scared that you're going to leave me. Like she clearly has like abandonment issues, but like not to diagnose anybody, bitch, because I'm not a therapist, but like, you know, she's just like, you're going to leave me, so I'm going to hold on to you, but like simultaneously I'm pushing you away and I don't even realize that I'm
Hmm.
doing it. I do think that the conversation that her and Chris had afterward again was like beneficial because Chris was so calm and because Chris handled it well. And where Chris is going wrong is when she asked him, is there anything that I'm doing that affects your mood? He should have been honest in that moment and said, this is what you're doing that's affecting my mood.
Hmm.
This is what you're doing to, you know, that's
Uh-huh.
kind of like making me feel away. But instead he just said, give me a kiss. And then
Yeah,
she, you know, it's just
I know
Hurricane Huda is it's just who she is. It
it's
was a
sad that
territory too, but
yeah, it's sad that even like a few days in, he's having to explain why her behavior is making him feel bad. Like I said, it should the first like year, it should be mostly happy and there shouldn't be these massive problems a few days in. And yeah, he could be more forward, but we've seen her, we know her, he knows her. He can't be more forward. If he was straight up and said, "This is what you're doing that bothers me,"
she would have flipped
she
out.
she was getting up, storming off over him being
Calm.
like kind and
Yeah.
calm. Yeah, so he can't just say like people that are like he should just be real with her. That's
I
not gonna
think
go well.
in a very yeah, like I was gonna say in a very like and you shouldn't have to communicate with your partner that way, right? Like walk on eggshells and like, you
Yeah.
know, and I don't know, maybe she's upset about something else. Maybe she's upset that he's not closing it off. And so that's like coming out
Yeah.
in other ways. But I've seen so many people like, oh my God, like people are trying to make a big deal over what happened with her and Chris. Like it's not a big deal. Of course it's not a big deal to you guys, but it's like it's a pattern of behavior. And the
Hmm.
thing is, Jeremiah told her, like, even though he was very passive, like he told her right then and there, like, no, like you're wrong or you're tripping or like, or at least he tried, as opposed to Chris,
Hmm.
he's just kind of like pacifying her, like, oh, just give
Yeah.
me a kiss, you know? So
Yeah, and I don't think he's being real. I think he knows there's just a couple days left and like that's pretty bad. Like you can tell by the end of the episodes that he can't even like do it anymore. He's like he was trying so hard like he would in the first little argument they had, he just got up and like stood up and walked away because it was so frustrating for us to watch. So I can't even
Yeah.
imagine like being in it because he's just trying to communicate something so small. And I saw people a few days ago saying how he's so amazing, he's so much better
Oh,
than
no, now
Jeremiah.
it's him, girl.
Now
Now it's
he's a
him.
problem.
Now
Yeah.
he's the
Now,
problem. Oh my God, I can't believe he didn't look at her or laugh at her at the fire pit. That's what they
yeah.
say now. What did you think about Chris telling Brian that they had been intimate, and he, in the language that he used, he said, "I finally folded. Like I
So
finally gave
is
in. I
that
finally folded."
is that what it mean? Is that what that meant? Like when he
Yeah,
said I folded, that definitely
folded.
means they had sex.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
Okay.
but then we see in episode 32 him telling her we
Oh
can
yeah, yeah,
have
yeah.
sex, but we can't kiss. So folded means I folded, I gave in, which
Right.
is to me, I interpret it as she's been trying to be intimate with him and he hasn't been folding, and then he folded.
See, that's where since she's the one that she's been trying to convince him, I definitely feel like that's what, like we've said this before, she uses sex or her body as
Weaponizes
like a
sex.
way to control. Yeah, like she's trying to convince him to have sex with her so then she can tell him, you got to be acting this certain way because we're having sex, because we're that serious, you got to act serious. Like she
Yeah,
uses it as a way to like speed up the
manipulate.
intimacy of
Yeah,
the relationship. And that's
yeah,
what Jeremiah has said since he came out. That was my biggest mistake, rushing the physical intimacy, because then the expectations went way above, because, it's only a 10-day relationship, but when you're sleeping together, that kind of removes that quickness, it's
yeah,
like, okay, we're in a relationship now. So,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's very confusing because I'm like, it's
The
just a few more
pattern.
days.
It's the
Yeah.
same. It's just a pattern. It's the same pattern. So again, I think we've been saying it from the beginning. Like anybody who has saying, "Oh, she changed," or "Oh, there's been this big shift," and she's no. No, no, no. Production told her to get her shit together. She was going to leave the damn show, so she got her
Hmm.
shit together. And Jeremiah left.
Yeah.
And there was nobody in that villa
Yeah.
that
And
she cared about to bring this out. And
mhm.
now that she does like somebody and she's being intimate with somebody, it's coming out, and we knew that
And
would happen. I thought there wasn't enough time to see it. I kept telling you, like, there's not enough time. You're like, we're gonna see it, and I mean,
yeah.
if anybody can say that they don't see the pattern or they don't see the same behavior peeking through, then you're Delulu. So
Very. I can't believe some of the things being said in the comments to defend her, as though somehow like production is editing or manipulating this in some way. And sure, maybe she is having some nice moments that were not being shown, but either way, these fights, these attitudes, these conversations with her are still happening. She is still sleeping with him. Like, what would she be doing if a bombshell came in tomorrow and
right,
wants
right,
Chris?
right. We
She's
would
going
see
to
the same
become
behavior.
crazy. And why then is she sleeping with someone who's not closing off with her? If closing off is a
Because
big
she
deal to
thinks
her,
that sleeping with them is going to get them to close off with her.
yeah,
Get
it's
it? Just like you
backwards.
said, it's gonna force. She thinks it's gonna force them into a relationship, a close off. Start acting like my boyfriend. Start having all of these expectations because I slept with you, and when we sleep together, that means this. So that means that equals this, and that's what
Hmm.
she's doing it as a way to manipulate, and she's weaponizing it and to get what she
Yeah.
wants, and that's just not how you move, and it's just bizarre. And
Hmm.
the fact that Chris is like, he wants public displays of affection, he wants to show his affection towards her, and you get mad. The man says, if you can't kiss me in private, then maybe we shouldn't be sleeping together. Like, who in
Yeah,
their right
that's a
mind gets
normal thing to
obsessed?
say.
Who gets upset with that? Like a man like not wanting to sleep with you because he would rather kiss you in public is like, that's a good thing. That's not a negative thing. Like,
Can you imagine if it was reversed and Chris was sleeping with Hoda in private and wouldn't kiss her in public, or any man to a woman? We would be losing our shit and like, what a loser. Get him out of this damn villa. Like, or if a man talked to a woman that way with like yelling at her during the challenge and making a fuss because she didn't remember to acknowledge him in the yoga thing, like we would be like, that's abusive. Like she literally looks scared. Her light is gone out of her eyes. Like we would be like, get away from that man. So I don't know why people are excusing it just because she's this a woman because like I said, I hate this. I would love to defend her. I loved Leah last season. I don't see any similarities. It gets worse every
It
episode. I
gets worse
really want
every
every
episode.
episode to be like, oh, we were wrong, but it's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
not
I knew
happening.
we
So
weren't wrong. And so,
no,
because we've seen the pattern, even before these episodes, so it's
yeah.
just like, what she needs therapy. And the thing is like her supporters, if they love her and they care about her, they would constructive criticism goes a long way. Nobody's saying give her hate. Like the hate that she was receiving in the first couple
Mhm.
weeks is totally unnecessary, and that's not
Yeah.
what we're encouraging people to do. Like constructive criticism goes a long way to where this girl can really self-reflect and work on herself, or else she's never going to find herself in a loving relationship, because she's going to push away every good guy that comes
Mhm.
her way. Because I think Chris has tried his best to approach it in a delicate manner, and it seems like no matter how you approach it is just not good enough. The excuse of like, oh, I want to do something different. If you wanted to do something different, you wouldn't have been intimate. If you wanted to take it
Mhm.
slow, you wouldn't have been intimate. If you wanted, just the day before, she was saying how she likes the pace that they're moving because they're not getting intimate too fast, and then the next day you got intimate with him. Like, you can't say, you
Mhm.
can't fuck, you can't bang cheeks, and then the next day say like like you're not kissing him because you want to take it slow. Like like you
Mhm.
don't want to kiss them in
Well,
public because you want to take it slow. Like,
and she's trying to victimize herself again by saying she can't kiss him because of like what's happened with the other Islanders before. And I don't know where that is coming from, because we heard in Hannah's interview, she said they had such a bad opinion of Jeremiah because Huda would badmouth him all the time. So their opinions of that relationship weren't coming from them making out or being all over each other. It was from the fact that Huda was saying all this bad stuff about Jeremiah, and then they were seeing them all lovey-dovey, and they were like confused about what the real story was. And that's why they thought he was love bombing, because she was saying how horrible he was, but then appeared to be in love with him. So I don't know why she's saying, like, she's trying to pretend like she can't kiss him because everyone's going to judge her. Like, I think everyone there wants her to have a happy relationship and wants to see a change in her. And, well, like, why do you think she's saying she can't kiss him in public? Like, where is that coming from?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, if you want to keep your, I guess maybe from a sense of like wanting to keep your shit private and you want to keep it to yourself and it's special to you,
Mhm.
so it's between you and him. But do you think that nobody can hear you kicking at night? Do you think that nobody can hear you kissing at night? Like, the Islanders can see and they know and they hear what's going on. So that's why it doesn't really make sense to me. And I feel
No.
like, as delicate as Chris was, she should have been able to have that conversation with her, especially because with him, especially because he has given her so much grace in every single time that she's had an issue. He's listened. He hasn't like complained. Like, even with the shut up thing, he said, I'm sorry. And if you go back and
Mhm.
watch that scene, when he said shut up, like everybody looked at her and was like laughing. Like, all the girls were
Yeah.
laughing because it was supposed to be a joke and it was supposed to be funny. And it's like, don't tell
Yeah.
me shut up. Like,
Yeah, and that's the other end of it, right? She said she wants to keep their stuff private, but she was literally berating him and yelling at him in front of everybody. Like, that was what the problem was last time. The way she yelled at and talked to Jeremiah. That was when everyone started having a problem with that relationship. If that never happened, no one had a problem
right.
with them. So,
Right. And you could
I
literally just say, please don't tell me to shut up when you guys are in private. Like, you're on the
yeah.
balcony looking down at him. Did you hear me? Did you hear me? I said, don't tell me to shut up.
Mhm.
And I could just tell in that moment he wanted to be like, he was
Yeah.
just like,
Shut up.
Okay. Like, he was just like,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Like, he was like, okay, sorry. But I could tell he just, because it's just, and then he's like subtly trying to tell her, like, even when the damn conversation, when he was like, don't tell me what to say and what not to say. I just did. I
Yeah.
just did.
I
But
know.
even that exchange was weird, right? Like, he was like, he was trying to be cute. Like, you could throw up in my mouth. Like, or like, why would you say, when he said, I like you a lot, why would you be like, oh yeah, let me go throw up? Like,
Exactly. He was just trying, like, that's where I'm feeling bad for him, and you can see the light out of his eyes. He's like, doesn't know what to say. Like, he literally is panicking. He's like, she's, what did he call her? Not confrontational, but like,
combative.
yes, combative. Like, he doesn't know what to say. Like, nothing that he says is right. And so that's why everything that he's saying sounds stupid because he's like, what is going to piss her? He's thinking too much about like, what's going to piss her off? What can I say? Yeah, he said, I like you a lot. Like, why is it so hard for her not to just like kiss him in that moment or even just say
Receive it.
thanks or like give him a
Receive it.
cuddle? Like,
She has a hard time believing that someone likes
mhm,
her and receiving that someone likes her, which is
mhm,
really sad because she's beautiful. You know what I mean? And she puts
mhm,
on this false sense of confidence of like, is it because I'm ugly? Would it be better if I was ugly? Why didn't more people pull me? Like, you know what I mean? And it's just
mhm,
like, yeah, like he was trying to give you a compliment. Like the thing is in that moment he gave her reassurance, right? Like
yeah,
his mood is off. His mood is clearly off because of her. And then he's telling her, I'm just chilling, I'm just chilling, I'm just killing. She's still going. She's still going. What's wrong? What's wrong? Is something's wrong? Are you okay? Da, 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 da. And he tries in that moment, he realizes she thinks that my mood is off because I've switched up in some way. So let me reassure her. I still feel the
mhm,
same way about you. I like you. And then she goes, oh, you like me? And he's like, yes, I like you a lot. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, I just want to throw up. Like, why would you
yeah,
want to throw up because somebody said they like you? And then so he's trying to be cute, throw up in my mouth. Oh my God, that's so fucking disgusting. Don't ever say that again.
yeah. I wouldn't even be able to
Ruining a
talk to someone
moment.
like that. Like, I would just,
Just ruining a moment.
and I don't think she realizes how much of a turn off that is. Like, and obviously not for all men. I don't know how they all think, but like, and not that her goal is to turn them on, but she's so beautiful, and I like Jeremiah literally didn't pick her he picked Iris because of her attitude and her behavior. Like they
Yeah.
had, from what we saw, a really great connection. They obviously had a great physical connection. Like
Yeah.
they could have been something amazing, but she pushes them away so
Self-sabotaged.
hard. Yeah.
Self-sabotaged. Yeah. Yeah. Because she wasn't truly convinced that Jeremiah liked her. And I
Hmm.
don't know why, because I think to the audience it was very clear that he did. Like, he's
Hmm.
not talking to anybody, he's not pulling anybody for a chat. And the thing is, it doesn't matter how beautiful you are on the outside. If you're ugly on the inside, that's all people can see. So
Yeah. Yeah, and no one is going to want to put up with that no matter what benefits they're getting from you. Like, no one wants to be talked to that way all day, every day. And
yeah.
I think he just needs to be straight up with her and just say, I'm not going to tolerate being talked to like this. You need to change immediately. And if she can't handle that,
I don't
then
think that would go over
it can't
well.
get any. No, it won't at all.
And that's the
But
thing is, I don't know how to approach her because he's been very delicate, you know. I think it was really interesting to see how she's explaining it to the girls. Like, I'm so calm with him and everything's so great. And he's just like, something's off. And like,
Mhm.
I have to tell her if I want change, like I have to tell her. And even the boys are like, yeah, just tell her in like a really delicate way. Like just keep her real and be respectful. And it doesn't matter how you do
Mhm.
it. She doesn't handle confrontation well.
No. And I think the only reason she's trying to be a little bit like, oh, am I messing it up? Like, what's wrong? Is because there is all these cameras there, and because we saw what happened with Jeremiah, and she knows like it's probably not going to go over well if I'm like, this is Chris. It's a Chris problem, right? Like
Yeah.
she knows that no one's going to buy that, so she's hopefully self-reflecting a little bit. But
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
It's
hope so. Well,
sort
you
of
have
sounds
to,
like,
right? If it's like
yeah,
you're seeing the same pattern with now two different men, and say what you want about JD, you like being dominant. Like
he
he's
was right.
essentially saying the same thing. You know what I mean? He's
Hmm.
essentially saying the same thing. So
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being assertive, and women, we do get called bitchy or whatever when you're like in charge, or like confident or bossy, but it's not, that's not what she's doing. It's like what we would call like nagging if a man did it. It's like
yeah,
putting down her partner and picking at her partner. It's not like just being like, hey, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is what I like. Like it's not coming across that way. I don't know if that's how she's trying to be, but it's not.
yeah.
It's just coming across like she hates her partners and wants them to suffer every day. So,
Every day.
and I'm like, you don't even like, you'll get there. Eventually, one day you'll be annoyed with them, and then you start nagging them, but not in the beginning. Like,
Not in
give
the
it some
beginning.
time.
Not in the beginning. She's self-sabotaging so bad. Like, so I am curious to see where they end up.
Yeah.
Because they had a bad episode and we had a vote tonight. So
Well, they had two bad episodes because we're doing
episodes. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, which episode are we even at? Because the whole
We kind
Chris
of
Huda
mixed
thing.
them. We kind of mixed them together, but there's not much
Mhm.
happened in 31, so we could just jump into 32.
Yeah.
The rest of
The last,
it.
I was gonna say, the last thing about Huda and Chris, just the very end, all of a sudden when they didn't go home and she was looking at him and smiling. So I'm kind of wondering if her attitude and problems the whole time were with them not closing off and her worrying that that was making them vulnerable
I
for
thought
some
she was
reason.
gonna give him a kiss. That's what I
Yeah.
thought was gonna happen. Like he said, you don't kiss him in front of the other Islanders. So right now would be a good moment since Ace and Shelley just kissed. A lot of the couples when they got picked kissed.
Yeah.
And if that's something like that's a good way to like middle ground or meet him in the middle is to like
Yeah.
look at him and give him a kiss. But I think maybe that was her intention, and then she seen the look on his face and knew that he just was not interested at all.
No, I
You know
think he
that.
was almost hoping they got sent home because he was like, I can't for another day take this. So,
Yeah, I
because
mean,
he
we
did
did hear
not
him
seem happy.
telling. We did hear him telling, I don't know if that was Brian or who that was, where he was like, I don't know if I can do it.
Yeah. And she looked so happy after they got safe. So, yeah, I'm wondering if her treating him that way was because they didn't close off. She was worried they were going to be next to be sent home just because they're like the least coupley, I guess, because they're like the
Oh.
newest ones. But then when they didn't get sent home, it's like she was like, okay, we're good now. But then something else will come up tomorrow and she'll have a problem again. And I think he knows that. That's why he wasn't just like,
Yeah.
yeah, everything's great. Let's have a
Yeah.
kiss and whatever. Because he's like,
Yeah.
no, this ain't gonna
Well, because
change.
they didn't finish the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Because she got up
Hmm.
and she walked away because he said, well, if we can't, like, I'm missing something. So if we can't, we could kiss in bed and we can do what we do in bed, but we can't kiss in public. So maybe we don't need to do what we do in bed. Again, that's a good thing, like not a
Hmm.
negative. And yet you got up and walked away while he was trying to express himself, while this man just had a conversation with you and told you, stop cutting me off. That's
Hmm.
the ultimate cutting somebody off is is getting up and walking away while they're trying to speak with you. It's dismissive and it's
Yeah.
rude. And that's one thing that I hate is being dismissed, like feeling dismissed by my partner. Like you're not
Yeah.
even gonna listen to what I have to say. And that is in line with cutting him off, right? Like you're cutting him off and then you ultimately cut him off and didn't let him finish his thoughts. And he does not treat you like that. He does not do
No.
that to you when you come to him with a problem. He should be able
Hmm.
to come to you with a problem in the same regard.
And I think she just really loves a toxic relationship. And I think
Mhm.
like she was on a high in that moment. She wanted to kiss him. She wanted to probably go to bed and have a good time and then wake up tomorrow and be pissed off about something and fight all day and then go to bed together again. Like
Yeah.
that's what she
The
likes in a
toxic cycle.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that's why he seems done because he's like, she likes, it's not like she wants this to change. This is just how she is in a
Yeah.
relationship. She likes it this way and this is
Yeah.
how it's going to be. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I
I
mean,
don't
if
understand
she's,
why she would think he would laugh and be jolly at the pit when they didn't
She
finish the
walked away.
conversation. So we'll see.
Well,
Hopefully in the next episode they are able to talk it through. But yeah, it looks like he's
well,
done. And
if
maybe these
she's,
2 episodes turn the vote, but I don't know. Because
I was gonna say, if she's smart, I mean, literally, they're like top five. They got 4 days left. Like, keep it together. Just shut up and kiss him and whatever. You might win this thing. People love you, some people, and you have a lot of followers. So
he
one of
ain't
those
gonna win.
producers has got to just literally shake her and be like, you can fight when you leave here. Just like
Yeah.
be on your best behavior. People like you.
Girl.
You're ruining this for yourself.
Girl, Chris
Stop.
ain't never answering her call again after this show is over. I'm telling you that right
No.
now. Now she'll really be moted if Chris breaks up with her and he's just like, I'm leaving the island. Because then she would
Yeah,
have no choice but to leave too.
that'd be funny. I mean, not funny, but I think that would be good for him. I think that would be healthy. But then I'm also like, there's a couple days and
Things
maybe,
turn around quick.
yeah. I mean, if he is smart and wants to take like, I think maybe he sleeps in like soul ties, right? Take a break from her, sleep it off, and then, knowing her, she would flip out over that. But if she doesn't, maybe they can figure it out. So, but yeah, probably not sleeping in the bed is a good idea because
Yeah.
they're just gonna be humping. So,
I think, but he seems to have self-control and he seems to know when she's weaponizing that cat. So he seems to be emotionally mature enough to be like, no.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Huda lovers, if you're still here, we're sorry. We're not
I'm
sorry though,
not.
but
It's the truth. It's our opinion. You don't have to agree, but it is what it is.
if you are listening still, you tell us in the comments, obviously, like what you liked about her in this episode, what you see that we
How
don't
you viewed
see.
it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
you
yeah.
viewed the confrontation and the altercation if
Because
you feel. Yeah.
I saw someone comment last time about like they didn't like that we make fun of her, and I was like, when did we make fun of her? I don't find any of it
Never.
funny at all. Like, there's nothing silly or fun about her. Like,
They just be
oh,
saying anything. They don't have an argument, so they just be saying anything. And it really
yeah,
doesn't make sense because we have not made fun of her one time. It was like, oh, calling her hood rats, calling her fans
that
hood
came
rats.
from TikTok.
That came from TikTok, and they almost coined the term themselves. So it's like,
Mhm.
but you can't argue with a person who has no argument, like they don't have any rationale. Because now it's like, oh, Chris is weird. Chris is weird. All of a sudden, he's weird. When days ago he was like an angel, now he's weird for not smiling at her at the fire pit. This man is upset. She just dismissed him. He tried to have a conversation with her, and she dismissed him. And now you want to just like. No,
Yeah.
girl, that's not how it works.
No.
So,
Okay, well,
what else
if you're,
happened?
yeah, I'm like, now we'll talk about someone else. So hopefully the Huda lovers are still here, but if not, no worries. um, Taylor and Clark obviously closed it off, which I feel bad for them because I think they should have showed that last time because it's a little too late for them now, sadly.
Too late.
So,
And that's what we said in our last episode. We were like, do we think that they can turn it around? Do they think that they can win over some of America? And we were like, it's too late
mhm,
because whatever happens in this episode doesn't count because the vote has already been cast and is already in. I do think that if they would have had more time, they would have been able to turn the tides, but they just didn't have the time. Now that Olandria and her seem to have a friendship, Olandria and him are really done. Olandria
mhm.
doesn't seem to be hurt about the situation anymore and moving forward in her couple with Nick. Like, I think it could have turned, but unfortunately it was too late. What did you think about the cheer and the way he chose to close it off?
I thought it was really cute. It was nice. Like, the one thing is, like, Taylor, Nick, and Ace, they do have a cute little friendship as much as they've annoyed us a lot throughout this process. Like,
Mhm.
they do support each other and love each other, and it's nice to see them like help out Taylor in his, I was gonna call it a promposal, but that's not what it is, but that's what it was giving. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I thought it was cute. What did you think of it?
I
A
thought it was,
little low effort.
I didn't think it was low effort. I thought it was a little, it was just very Taylor. I guess he has his ways of like, I think it's just so interesting to just see how he is with Clark and how he is
Yeah.
with Olandria. Like he didn't do any of this for her. Like he was having hard time coming up with ideas of things to do. So the fact that he was just able to put this together, like him saying, do you want to be exclusive? I think I was like confused. Like, is he asking her to close off? Are you asking her to be exclusive outside of the villa, in the villa?
Hmm.
Like, what does that mean in today's day and age? I'm out of the loop on the terminology.
Yeah. I know that is the hard thing, and like that's obviously why he went home because now seeing him with Clark, we're like seeing that this whole thing with Alandria was just fake. You know, he never was into her. He didn't like her at all, and it feels like he just used her to stay until someone came that he liked, which,
Yeah.
I guess what else could he have done but probably explored more and not let Olandria think he was so into her, right? Like it wasn't fair for her.
Why do you think he didn't explore? Because we didn't see Taylor talk to anyone.
No. Well, I know Beldasha did say they had a little flirtation, but her and Olandria were so close that it never went anywhere. But she did kind of hint at like that Taylor was flirty with her. So we never saw that, which
Okay.
would
Okay.
have helped. I don't know if Olandria saw it. It might have only been like when they weren't around her because she did say they were trying to be respectful of her. So yeah, I definitely just think no one piqued his interest until Clark. And
Yeah.
so yeah,
But
I
I
just
think that's
wish.
the problem, right? Even with Beldasha, like we wanted to be respectful. And I think that is the biggest mistake of this, not being respectful, but the biggest mistake this season is like people, once they got in their couples, like obviously those couples that you pick on the first day are not even solidified. People have ended up with people by default or people that they didn't even really want. And the
Mm-hmm.
cast was so stuck on being loyal and respectful that like they really didn't explore options because
Yeah.
Beldasha was the first one to go home. You had every right to explore Taylor if that's what you wanted.
Yeah.
And apparently, allegedly, I haven't seen the interview, but allegedly, the reason Nick never pursued Olandria was because Taylor asked him not to.
Oh, who
That
said that?
allegedly, Ian, the host, said that. Somebody left it in my
Oh.
comments, but I didn't see it. So, grain of salt. But because
Mm.
people just leave anything in the comments, but somebody said that Ian Sterling said that Taylor had asked Nick early on in the game not to pursue
Mm.
Olandria. So I'm like, and again, there's that element because if
Yeah.
we're that early on in the game, Nick has every right to pursue Olandria. Taylor has every right to pursue Beldasha. And it just seemed like everybody was trying to be so loyal to their friendships that it really
Mm.
just messed up the game. Because same
Yeah.
as Ace, like we could tell he wanted to pull Huda so bad, like why, but he never tried.
Mm-hmm.
He never
Yeah, and that is why we are upset with Taylor because we just wish he would have told Alandria, I'm not really feeling it, and then maybe her and Jalen would have been a thing,
Yep.
and yeah, Taylor didn't want to lose his spot, but that's the risk you take. You can't just like string someone along waiting for a better person for yourself. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why. I've also seen people in my comments be like, the narrator, that's Ian Sterling, obviously said he saw something like with Olandria and Nick, so like it must be true, which I do think there is something there. I
Yeah.
agree, but I'm also like he works for the show. It's not like he's like a random person just giving his opinion.
And
Like
Ariana did
he's in
too.
on it.
Ariana
So
said something though weeks ago on After
mhm.
Sun, weeks
Yeah,
ago, like before Nicolandria was a thing,
yeah.
like
Well,
before
you said
the whole
something, I
topic.
think like literally from like the first couple episodes, you're like he keeps pulling her, he likes her. Like you saw it right away too. And
And
we
I seen it. I kept clocking back to like, why does no one remember that Alandria kissed him on the first date and he kissed her in the blindfold challenge? There's an
yeah.
interest there on both ends. Why we're not exploring it, I don't know. But yeah, Ariana clocked it too. She was like, that's that like she said it before the whole Casa dumping. She was like, I don't
Hmm.
know, I shipped them. She pointed out he kissed her in the blindfold challenge, and like she was like, I don't know, there's just something there,
Yeah.
and I think it's too late though, Ashley.
I know. When they had that kiss, I was all in on them and I was like defending them and posting a video and I was like, "Yes, this is a thing. We've seen it from the start." And then the next day when they said no romance, I felt bamboozled and I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, now I feel silly." And so
Yeah.
now I'm like, "Oh, now you want us to go back on it." So I'm not saying because I know someone said last time like how can we not believe in them? And I didn't think that we said that. I was
No,
like
we didn't.
we were always thinking they were a thing. Just when they went out and said no romance, that is what made me feel like it's produced because one of those things was produced, either no romance or now we have a romance. Like, because we saw that they had, or we felt like we saw they had a romance. So for them to say they didn't just felt out of place. I don't know where that
Yeah.
came from.
Yeah,
But
and I did see it. I did see like a think piece of like Alandria is like always very like well put together, and she's very poised, and she has this like she almost has a wall up, which I feel like
mhm,
she also had with Taylor, and we need her to
yeah,
drop that a little bit with Nick. Like, you know what I mean? Like we have a few days left. Like you need to start. Like you guys cuddled in bed one night. That's a good start, but you need to start like really talking about deep stuff. You guys really need to show, and again, it might be too late because there was already been a vote. Like you really need to show that there's something there.
yeah,
Because right now, all we're seeing is like you're talking to the girls about it, he's talking to the guys about it, and he says it's growing. We don't have time for it to grow. Like you need to hurry up.
yeah.
So
That's very true. I feel like, yeah, we did see, I think, in that stand on business challenge, we saw some vulnerability from Melandria. Like she got upset and
yeah,
we did see that, but yeah, we need something more like her and Nick had that passion with that kiss, so we need them to get back to that place and like
yeah,
just go for it. It's
go
only a
for
few
it.
days. Like
Go
just do
for
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I would like to see a kiss from them. I would like to see
Hmm.
a date with them. I would have liked, I
Yeah.
mean, granted, of all the couples to go to the hideaway, they were the last ones, but I'm curious to see what would have happened if they did go, just to give them
Hmm.
that one-on-one, like romantic time. I think we've all always seen something in the Nicole Andrea. I'm a Nicole Andrea ship, so
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm on the ship. So I, I, I see it. I have always seen it, but I just don't think there's time because we're literally out of time. We have 4 days
Yeah.
left, so
Yeah, we need them to, like, I want to ship them, and I did see it
yeah,
too,
yeah,
so I want them to just go for it
yeah,
and yeah,
same,
give us
same,
something
same.
to to see more of. So, speaking of the hideaway, what did you, this is going back to the last episode a little bit, but mostly the beginning of this one. What did you think of Brian and Amaya's hideaway adventure? They seemed like they
Uh,
had a good time.
I love that Alandria was asking all the fucking nosy questions, like how
Yeah.
many times did he eat that kitty? Like, those are
You could
all the things I wanted to know. So I'm like, okay, yeah, she kind of like just covered all the bases. Like, they did in the hideaway what we thought they was doing in the hideaway. So
yeah. Yes, we always appreciate someone that asks the questions that we're all thinking. So, it
I
was
got
good.
spicy. She was like, "Bite them, baby." I'm like, "Oh, okay, woo, clutching my pearls."
Right? I know they made good use of the hideaway. And
Yeah,
yeah, I don't think you could fake that, but who knows? I'd like them together. So
I
I'm
do
gonna
too.
believe it's real.
I do
So
too. I have a question for you. Are Iris and Pepe have they been clapping cheeks in the bedroom?
it's kind of what it seems like. It seems like,
Okay.
yeah, everybody's doing that at this point, is what it's giving. Because
Yeah.
except for Nick and
Well, not
Alandria, but
Nicolandria and not Ace and Shelley.
yeah, why are Ace and Shelly not, I guess,
Well, he's the
waiting
big
for
on
closing off?
physical touch and he's big on boundaries. So I would imagine that maybe if they went to the hideaway, he doesn't seem like the type that would just do it out in public. Neither does she. But I wasn't
Hmm.
sure if Iris and like, cause some couples, right? Like Amaya and Brian, Huda and Chris, like Hannah and Pepe, it's obvious that they did it,
Yeah.
right? Like 100% without a doubt. But with Iris and Pepe, there's been no confirmation. Like we haven't heard him telling the boys that he did it.
Yeah.
We haven't, so I wasn't sure, but we did hear him telling the boys that he's never felt like this about somebody, which
Hmm.
means Iris has surpassed Miss Hannah.
Yes, I know. I I find it so funny because like when they leave, and then like Pepe was obviously sad, and then so she's doing videos like, oh, like maybe we'll see each other after, and then it's like no, he's moved on already.
Yeah,
So it
things change
life
so
moves
fast,
fast.
girl.
Eh?
Just let it go. Let it go.
May maybe they haven't slept together yet because he did sleep with Hannah, and maybe he's like,
And
I don't
people
think.
are saying she slept with TJ
Oh,
in
what?
Soul Ties. Again, it's not clear, right? Like we just
Right.
seen
We
them
need them to
ruffling.
say it.
Yeah, we just seen them ruffling under the covers, like, but there was no proof that they actually went all the way. They could have been
Hmm.
ain't that could they could have
Yeah.
been doing something else. Like we don't know.
Giving back massages.
They could have been doing different massages. Like we don't know because there was. I guess people assume when there's ruffling under the feather, the cup feathers under the cover,
Feather.
like something's going on. But like usually we hear like a moan or see a hand
Yeah.
sit or see some pelvic action. I haven't seen that, so I haven't been sure because people were like kind of shocked that Huda slept with both Jeremiah and Chris, and people were like, "Oh, well, Pepe slept with Iris and Hannah, and then Iris slept with TJ and Pepe." And I'm like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. The only
Yeah.
one that we know for sure is Pepe and Hannah,
Yeah, I
right?
think unless they say it like to each other and confirm it, it's hard to say because even if
Yeah.
we see them moving around, we really don't know what they're doing.
Right. Not to
So
be counting nobody's bodies or anything like that. I'm just
no,
nosy, so I just want to know.
yeah, they're having a good time in Fiji, and we love that for them.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, if I think if they're having these real connections, that's part of having the real connection.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
gotta connect
I
under the
agree. Were
covers.
you sad that Clark and Taylor left?
I
Is
mean,
there someone else you would have rather
yes.
seen go home?
Yeah, Huda and Chris. I mean, especially after this episode, like I
Right.
definitely not even because we don't like Huda, I just genuinely don't feel like they have a shot at anything. Like it's just not fair to the other people. Like to
Yeah.
send Taylor and Clark home, who clearly really like each other and haven't
Mhm.
had one damn little argument, to have Huda and Chris stay, that doesn't seem fair at all. Like what is the
Yeah.
point? So,
Yeah.
but again, the way Taylor moved throughout is why he got sent home, because people felt like he was fake with Alandria and kind
Yeah.
of ruined her experience and wasn't real with her and
Yeah.
said I wasn't into you. So they didn't get sent home because they don't have a real connection. That I don't think that had anything to do with it. So it
Right.
was sad to see them go. Like I can't vote here in Canada, so it's not my fault. But like not that I would have voted for them to stay
That's
anyway. So
mine. I took a poll and literally almost nobody said them, and I was like, oh, like, and just like I took a poll tonight, and like most of the answers, um, like I don't
yeah,
see
what are they
very
saying?
very many. Let's see, let's go through them.
Yes.
Okay, Amaya and Brian, Chase, which is Shelly and Ace, Amaya,
Oh yeah, I like their little name. That's cute.
Nicolandria, Amaya and Brian, Amaya and Brian, Amaya and Brian, Shelly and Ace, Nick and Alandria, Amaya and Brian, Amaya and Brian, Iris and Pepe, Nick and Alandria, Iris and Pepe, Iris and Pepe, Ace and Shelly, Iris and Pepe, Amaya and Brian, Chase, Amaya.
Oh, it's very split.
Somebody gave Iris,
Oh
Iris.
yeah,
They're
I
giving
put
them a
that.
name. Shelly and Ace, Amaya and Brian, Nick and Alandria, Shelly and Ace, Nick Alandria, Iris and Pepe, Amaya and Brian, Ace and Shelly and Ace, Nick Alandria, Amaya, Brian, Shelly and Ace, Nick Alandria, Shelly and Ace, Iris and Pepe, Bramaya. That's what they're calling
See,
Brian and
I
Amaya.
actually, what do they
Bramaya.
call them? Brahmaya.
Bramaya.
I actually
Bramaya.
like all of those people, and like I wouldn't be mad if any of them won. So
I
I would
don't
like,
see one Huda and Chris in here.
well, not on your
I don't see one.
page.
I don't see one. Not on my page.
No, and not
Make that
after those
better.
episodes. Yeah. I mean, not if you're voting for them after those episodes, it's just because you're a fan of Huda, and I guess that's fine because I would vote for Amaya and Brian because of Amaya, but I actually do like their connection too. So
Mm,
I didn't think I would be here liking so many of the couples because it feels like a week ago we had no couples we liked,
nothing.
and
We had
now we like them
nothing.
all. So yeah, I'd be happy with any of them winning. I
Yeah,
think they all have good qualities and all have good different connections. They're all very different connections, right?
yeah,
Like I
I
know
agree.
people won't probably think Nick and Olandria should win, but I don't know. They've both been there since the first day and they've always had a thing. And like they said, friends to lovers. Everybody loves
Friends to
that.
lovers,
So,
and Iris and Pepe have a friends to lovers thing. Most of these say Nicolandria and Shelly and Ace. To be honest, I
oh,
don't.
I
I'm
like that.
still scrolling, and I don't see. I don't, and Amaya and Brighton, but I don't see. I still have. Oh, I have one Huda and Chris. See,
Mm,
and then this person, girl.
blocked. No, I'm just kidding.
No, exactly. I was like, this is my way to weed them out.
We don't do that.
But somebody
All
wrote, girl,
opinions are welcome
like,
here. We
girl,
would
you
never.
messy. Like what does that have to do with my poll? Like I should block you because I'm
Someone
messy
said,
for
girl, you're
asking
messy.
who, yeah, girl, block. You know what I mean? Like block. Like it takes everything out of me to not be like, your mama is messy. But you
It
know what? We're just
It
gonna
can
keep
be
it cute.
tiring
Yeah.
sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I put up the other day, like, who do you want to win, Amaya or like Amaya and Brian? Like just being silly. And like, of course, people message like neither, not Amaya. I don't like her. And you're like, why are you going out of your way to message that? Like that. If you don't answer the poll, I understand that you don't like her. You don't have to
Right.
message me and say it. But also, I know when you're putting out polls and questions, people feel like they should tell you their thoughts, and I appreciate that most
Yeah,
of the time.
yeah,
So,
they're engaging, whatever, drive up the engagement. But I'm like, yeah.
yeah.
So based on that, on Instagram, I did see. It seems like Amaya and Brian, Shelly and Ace, and Nicolandria are in the top. And I guess it's like a little confusing since Nicolandria it was between them two. So you would they in their mind are getting in their heads thinking, oh well, we were the next at the
Yeah.
bottom. So maybe they don't like us together, but we need to see some stuff. We need to see
Yeah.
some stuff. And I don't know if you've seen Cause it seemed like everybody done. They don't even mention Sierra. They don't give a motherfucking fuck that she gone. Like they don't mention
No.
her. Everybody's happy. It seems like everyone's happy that she's gone almost. And
Uh-huh.
so the Sun, which is not really a credible page or not really a credible magazine, but they did do an article last week saying that they were holding a crisis meeting. To production was holding a crisis meeting to see if they were going to
Yeah.
kick Sierra out, and they obviously were very right about that. So they
Uh-huh.
recently released an article saying like basically how it went down with Sierra
Mm-hmm.
leaving. They said that they told her she was upset. She tried to apologize and she thought that apologizing, this is all alleged, grain of salt. The Sun is an
Mm-hmm.
unreliable source, but
Yeah.
that she thought that apologizing would be enough. And like, she really didn't understand why she had to leave. And she was really upset about it. And that the other islanders allegedly wanted answers of why she was leaving. And some of them were trying to reason with production and say, hey, can she stay? And, you know, an alternative solution to her leaving. And that some of the islanders were actually really upset when they found out what she said and
Mm-hmm.
how and what happened. And some of them wanted her to leave and that the environment became very hostile. But ultimately
Yeah.
they removed her because they have a zero tolerance policy for racism. So
Yeah.
that's what the article says.
Well, I did see a lot of people posting that clip of where they said you could hear Sierra yelling in the background. I don't know what they do on Love Island. I feel like the smart thing to do is they wouldn't like go in to the villa and tell her in front, like, you gotta go and like pack your bags, and she'd be there screaming. That just doesn't seem like something that they would do, a big production like this, especially because they're not even in the villa all the time, right? Like they would
Right.
wait. They would be like, come for a confessional, take her to a private room, have a chat, and
Which is what
it wouldn't,
Elisa
and
said.
then they would go pack her shit for her. Like they do that on Big Brother. Like you don't get a chance to go back with these people when you're kicked off and like pack your own stuff, and they
And
have
that
like a
it's similar
procedure, you know.
to what Elisa said. She said she got called to a private room, or she said she thought she was going to do a confessional. They called her
Mhm.
up, told her to take off her mic, and she was like, I
Yeah.
thought something happened with my family. And then she was like, then they told me and I went to the hotel. So you're right. She didn't get to go pack her stuff. She
Oh,
you know, they didn't
yeah.
tell, but
It's like when you get fired and they like, yeah, they escort you off the. I mean, this not happened to me. I'm just here. But
haven't heard all
they
the friends.
I heard that, they escort you off the premises and then they like, they get your stuff and like take all your important files and stuff. Like they don't just be like, hey, you're fired, but here's all like come into the office. So who knows what people are gonna do, right? Like hurt other people or
Yeah.
destroy property, like they
Yeah.
don't know how you're going to react, so they don't just say it in front of everyone. But I did think it was interesting, if you actually listen, it seems like the yelling is when Olandria is in her confessional. It doesn't seem like it's when she's at the part where she's talking to Zach, I think is who she was talking to. The yelling seems to be in the background of her
That's what I
confessional.
heard. Yeah. It's
Yeah, so
clearly saying
that
you
seems
can't
more
do this.
possible.
Like apparently
That
you could hear when she's saying, "Oh, that confessional," where it's 27 minutes into the episode. Somebody just left that in my comments, like to where you
Yeah.
could hear her when she's going, "Zach's kind of cute, right?" And like you can hear like, "You can't do this, like you can't." And I don't know that Olandria would be recording a confessional at the
right.
time that Sierra's getting kicked out of the villa, so I don't know. But I did see that it's a theory, right? That you could
Yeah.
hear her screaming in the background.
Yeah,
I
it
don't know.
definitely
We've
makes.
never heard Sierra scream at all. So I don't know that I see like her having this massive reaction where she's like, no, like, I don't know.
No,
I don't know. She seems very
no,
like,
I don't
I,
see that either.
yeah, I
But you
understand.
never know, because sometimes the producers are like almost like friends of theirs, like, like a peer. And so
Mhm.
if you were like in a room with like your producer who you would consider like a friend, right? Like to maybe like crying, like you can't do this, not like yelling at them, but like just being
Well,
upset, or maybe on the phone. I
if
don't
we
know.
could hear it
Like,
in Olandria's confessional, it was definitely,
yeah.
if that was what was going on, we don't know, but that
Yeah, it's
seemed
hard.
like a yell. That seems like a yell. I know
Yeah,
it's
it's hard.
messy to like show us, but like we've had such a boring season and we didn't get movie night. Like y'all can at least tell us like how you told Sierra like to get
Right.
out.
It
I'm
is
gonna be
surprising.
up for it.
Yeah, it is surprising that they don't show it, but I guess they she would obviously apologize, and then they don't want to be like, oh, we're excusing it, then we're letting her like apologize. I don't know. I'm surprised that they
She's
don't
gonna
make it a
publicly
part.
come out and apologize anyway. It's like I
Well,
would have
imagine
liked
if
to see
you,
how it went down.
well, yeah, what if you're not on the internet? What if you don't like read and watch all this stuff and you literally just watch it on your TV at home and you're just watching the show and they're like, this person's gone, and you like literally have no idea what ever
So
happened
many
to them.
people commented, as viral as it went, so many people commented, what happened? What did she do?
Yeah.
Like,
I forget sometimes how out of the loop some people are until I like talk to a friend in real life or like a family member, or like when I get my lashes done and they're like, they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about half the time because they don't see half of it, and I just assume everyone is like,
everyone's on the internet. Yeah, no, like
yeah,
my friend called me today, like, oh, I seen something with Huda and the word, and then Sierra set up work. Can you catch me up? And I'm like, are you not online? Like, you just assume everyone's online and they know, but like
right?
you're
And
such a
that's
good
why we're
point.
here
Like,
to tell you
there's a
guys.
lot of people, like even like Love is Blind, right? Like to where they just watch the show and they don't know about the scandal. Like I can't tell you how many people were on Instagram and like when Tyler and Ashley's divorce were like, and it like they didn't have no recollection of the kids or whatever. They were like, I thought he was a sperm donor. Like what? Like
Right?
why? What? I thought he was a sperm donor. Like what happened? What is everyone? Why is everyone mad at him? I'm like,
I know. I feel so bad when a friend texts me and they'll be like just starting a show and we're already halfway through the season and we know all the scandals and they're like, I love this person. And you're like, I got some bad news for you. I don't want to burst their bubble, but they catch up eventually. It's so cute and they'll like send you an article or something that's like so old news, but it's just, I love that people
they
want to
send
share
you
it.
an
So,
article and you're quoted in it, like as the
yeah.
source of where they got their story from.
Yeah, and they're like, did you hear like about this? And you're like, yeah, I broke that story.
Yeah, I
They're
broke
like,
that story. Actually, if you
they're like, I
scroll
don't.
down, you'll see that I'm credited in this People magazine article. Oh, no.
But then I remember like just a couple years ago, I was one of these people. So I mean, yeah, I didn't know stuff to this level now.
Yeah.
Like I think
Same.
I had like one page that I followed that did like Bravo News, and I didn't realize this was like a whole world. And
I
now
didn't
I'm in
either.
the world, so I'm like, yeah, I like that not everyone in my life knows about it because then I can tell them, and I'm like, I'm your news
Yeah.
source. So
Yeah, I'm your news source. Don't worry. I didn't
yeah,
know either, like that, like reality TV news and tea and whatever is like a whole, it's its own like category. Like I didn't
yeah,
realize that people like, I didn't realize it was a category. Like I said, I've said before, like I just kind of fell into it and was like, oh, people care about this stuff. All right,
yeah.
cool.
It's like the same thing with sports, right? Like there's probably people that like just watch a game or two, and then there's the people who are like following ESPN and listening to
Yeah.
the podcast. They know all of the stats. They're
No,
like into it,
everything.
right?
Yeah.
That's us. And then there's just the casual watchers, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Like,
levels. So
there's
we're
levels
in
for
deep.
this. Yes.
Yeah.
And here we are with a whole
Yeah.
podcast about reality TV. So don't worry, we got you.
Yeah. We got you covered. We got
Did
it all.
anything else happen in the episode that we wanted to touch on, or did we kind of?
No, I think we talked a lot about everything. Like there was the whole basketball thing, which was
Yeah.
cute. Like I like seeing the lighter
Yeah.
chats and, the happy and fun times.
You know what I
And
noticed in the basketball challenge is like when they were all lined up and like walking towards the court, obviously Chris is 6'8", but Brian was a not that like Brian and Nick are pretty tall as well,
yeah,
because Brian was at like Chris's like he was like here to him. So I'm
oh,
like, oh,
really?
Brian's really tall too.
Yeah.
Like at
That'd be
least
like
like
6'5" then.
6'4", 6'5". Yeah, and Nick
Mhm.
too. I was like, oh, Nick surprisingly is tall. So
Yeah. And then there's Ace. Poor
did
Ace.
you notice
But
that Taylor kept calling him Little Man in the game?
no,
He
you
kept calling
did.
him Little Man.
Oh no, that's
Little
not
Man. He kept calling him a little man. I know Ace was on fire.
Yeah. Well, he's got Shelly, so he's got,
A
height
little
doesn't
woman.
matter.
No, I'm just kidding.
He's
got
got
a
what?
little woman. He's got a little
Yeah,
woman for his
that's
little
true.
man.
They are a good height match.
Yeah,
So,
they are.
so who do you think's gonna win it all? Are we not guessing yet? Couple more
I think so. I unfortunately think that either not unfortunately, if it's Huda and Chris, but I think Huda and Chris or Iris and Pepe are going to go home next because we did have a vote tonight and that will be
Mhm.
revealed on Thursday. So I think the couple that's going home next is Huda and Chris or Iris and Pepe. I don't know because of the Huda stands.
Yeah.
There's so many of them that I think that they do have the ability to keep her in the running.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
my guess is Iris and Pepe, but if I had to pick a winner right now, it's going to be Amaya and Brian. But I don't turn on me, crowd. I do. I do. I wouldn't be mad if Shelly and Ace won.
I know.
But what I can't get past, Ashley, is the thought of Ace and Shelly going back home. They win, right? They win Love Island. They go back home, and Ace looks at Shelly and says, "Told you it would work. I told you.
Yeah.
I told you.
I know,
I,
right?
I told you I knew the formula. I told you I studied the game, and I
Mhm.
told you it would work. We got him. We did it.
Yeah.
That's
I
what
know. It's hard to
I
not feel
can't
played by them. Yeah.
stomach.
I know. I feel like they don't need to win. I like them now, and I think they'd be a good couple. And I think they obviously already have like big social media followings, and they're gonna be loved regardless. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be hard to swallow to see Ace win after like we basically said he played us all the whole
Yes,
time. So
for sure. I think that's what it is. I can't get over the fact of him playing us. And then also, even in this episode with the game, right? The basketball, I can't lose. I don't lose. I don't like so in
yeah.
every game he's a competitor and he's a and he doesn't want to lose. So
hmm
why is this game any different? You know?
hmm Well, I got bad news
What?
because Ariana said the family thing is coming this week. The family visits or
Uh-huh.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like they've been keeping Huda around just for this moment because it's not actual visit, right? It's just the videos.
I think so. Yeah, usually.
So we're definitely going to be seeing her daughter. And I think that will be maybe the one moment where we see like a good side of her. And I think
Mm.
if Chris and her can get it together for a couple days and then her daughter is shown, she might win. I could see that just
I
from the
think that
stands.
that would be very, very intense to introduce her daughter to a man that she's been dating for 5 days. So hopefully
Yeah.
she doesn't do that. But who am I? Somebody had said that they seen Nick's mom and sister getting on a plane. So I don't know if they're like
Oh,
going to Fiji or what, but they said they seen them
I,
getting on a plane. They could have been going anywhere, but
I remember I said from the start, I think that Huda's baby daddy and the baby are going to Fiji because he all of a sudden just started talking so nice about her, and I feel like they like sent him a little plane ticket, but that's just my opinion. So.
maybe they're doing in-person family.
And she did say in this episode, like at the beginning when her baby was born, I was doing it all by myself, so I was waiting for him to like crash out over that because I'm sure that how he said he's like very involved and he
Oh, I
was
did
mad
notice
about that.
that in the baby
Yeah.
challenge too. She said something along the lines of like doing it on her own and it being super hard
Yes.
and I mean from the looks of it, he's a very active father. So, but maybe he wasn't in the beginning. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows?
I
But
wonder
also with him
why.
being in the army though, I could see maybe he was like
Yeah,
away
not
for
like
a year or two, which would essentially be you doing it on your own.
yeah, not like absent by choice, just
Yeah.
busy or like
Yeah.
working. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, I think we're definitely gonna be seeing her daughter.
Mm. Cute. We've seen a lot of her. The dad has been posting her quite a bit. So
hmm
I don't follow the
Yeah.
dad, but like
No,
every post on his TikTok now is like with the daughter. So
I think because they know she's going on the show and they're gonna try to make her a star. But I mean, it would have been a great moment if she was in a relationship, like if her and Jeremiah had made it, or her and Chris
Mhm.
had been doing well. It could have been something cool. But I agree. I don't think she should be introducing her daughter to Chris with their not getting along. That'd be
Yeah.
weird. So
Yeah.
see what
Yeah.
happens.
But again, Chris seems very emotionally mature. So I think that if they aren't in a good space when the family meetings come, like I could very much see Chris being like, I don't think it's a good idea that I should meet your daughter because I don't know where we're going to go from here. He seems like a
hmm
real that would be the genuine answer, but we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. Maybe they might make up and bump tacos tomorrow night. You know what I mean? Like they might be okay. We don't know. So
Uh, if they're smart, they will be. Because, like I
yeah.
said, she's got the fan base. Just get it together. Couple days. You could
Yeah.
turn it all around. There's still time. So we'll see.
No, I think like even if they turn it around, just in my opinion, she just doesn't deserve to win. That would honestly
No.
be she just doesn't deserve to win. That's just what it is. If she does win, oh well, I don't care. It's not my 100K. But like, and she, you know what I mean? Like she's blown up so much on social media, she won't need the 100K anyway. But I do
No.
think it would be so unfair to Amaya and Brian, Shelly, and Ace. All the other people, it would just be so unfair to them. So hopefully,
Yeah.
just yeah, we'll see.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We're getting down to the wire. So
Yes. Well, we'll probably be back tomorrow with
yeah.
another episode. We're here every day, but it's the last week that you have to see so much of us. Although we'll probably find something else to talk about every day because we always do. So, all right. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening.
Bye,
And we'll see you
guys.
guys soon. Bye.